Welcome, Aries, to your October 2020 tarot reading and forecast. Great to see the subscribers back again. I think this is going to be fantastic for Aries this October in this reading, but we shall see in just a second, shan't we? Fantastic to see the subscribers. Always good to see you. And of course, if you are worried about something or if you have a decision to make and you don't know which way is going, just check out the description box below and you can see how I might be able to give you some pointers. Now, I'm going to draw 5 cards and we shall see what there is in store. So let's deal firstly with this. Oh, incidentally, the 10 of Wands. Then there is this one, the Queen of Cups. See what else there might be. The Wheel of Fortune. Good for you, Aries, good for you. See what there is here. This is the 4th. The 9 of Cups. And something from in the middle, shall we? What's this one? The 5 of Swords. Okay, let's have a look at this, get the reading underway, and we'll see what's in store for you in October 2020. Now, next month's reading will be published on Wednesday, the 7th of October, 2 p.m. US Eastern Time. Let's have a look at this card first, this 10 of Wands which you drew. Let's have a look at this 10 of Wands. What do you say to me? Well, this 10 of Wands, it reminds me of one part of sacred scripture in the Christian religion, which is the book of Revelation. And in chapter 6, verses 1 and 2, it says, if I'm not mistaken, I watched as the Lamb opened the first of the 7 seals. Then I heard one of the 7 living creatures say in a voice like thunder, "Come." I looked, and there before me was a white horse. Its rider held a bow, and he was given a crown, and he rode out as a conqueror, bent on conquest. And so I think, Aries, that you are going to have a degree of feeling that you are going to be called upon to be a conqueror. The reason why I say that is because the astrology of this card, placed where it is that of Saturn ruling the 3rd decan of Sagittarius. Sagittarius is a mutable fire sign, and it's in the 3rd decan, which is the mutable, changing decan of that changing sign, that changing fire sign. Your sister fire sign. Now, Sagittarius wants to expand and express its optimism and spiritual side, whereas Saturn, as you probably know, is often characterized as being restrictive, and so it represses the expansive nature of Sagittarius. There is a will here which is being thwarted in some respect, but it's overcome by this card and by the card that is underneath it. But it's worthwhile talking about this because it's something that's going to come up. You may feel as if you are overburdened by something. Perhaps your energy is being held back. Repressed feelings. Aggression, fire, that fiery, aggressive nature on yourself. Perhaps taking on too much is what I get. Feeling the pressure. It may be that you feel that you don't have any control over circumstances which are coming around. Or it could be that you are a victim of your own success. There is a time during the month, and this is a minor arcana, it's not all the time, where I think your will to do something will be blocked no matter how hard you try. And frustration, anger, irritability, well, they can be the result of this suppression that is within you. Now, look, there might be a moment here, and you must not. Do not lose faith in yourself or in your ability to get what you want. Sometimes this can represent an actual person putting someone down and dominating their spirit. I certainly hope that that's not happening to you. Whether you are consciously repressing yourself or not, recognize that there is much more which you would like to express, to experience, to enjoy, and celebrate. Dare is the key word, I think, for you for this month. I think there are some things that you have always wanted to say to certain people, aren't there? Well, what are those things and who are those people? And you can, for the time being, just for yourself, express those things right now. Say this to yourself: I have the right to follow my feelings and life impulses. Now, there may well be something of a self-oppression here, a withholding of communications. Communications is a Sagittarius aspect to it, or action for fear that others may not perceive them well. That's the Saturn aspect. So if you are experiencing an internal self-oppression of who you are, then understand that you can be understood and you can be accepted. Now, sometimes this can represent a pattern, a long-standing pattern of self-restraint. Now, this is the case. Look back for a period of 10. It might be 10 months or it might be 10 years, and see if you can see the same sort of feelings that come up. But there is a determination to release this within you, I can see, and certainly the issue is going to be sorted out, I'd say, within a period of probably 10 days or something more major, 10 weeks. Let's have a look now at this card, because this is your wish coming true, really. Let's have a look here. Here we go. Where are you? Go into focus for me, please. Good. Well, this is the Lord of Material Happiness. Now, there is what looks like a baboon here. And the baboon is an aspect of Thoth, the ancient Egyptian god of knowledge. And you might ask yourself, well, does it seem strange to have the god of science, math, and measurement as the main character in a suit to do with water and the emotions? Well, I think that there is more to cups than usually meets the eye. Once I thought of cups as being just emotion, just relationships and the like. Now, certainly relationships and emotions have a major part to play in cups. But sometimes these things are merely the surface ripples of a deep well of truth and knowledge. Emotions are a language that your subconscious uses to motivate you, to prod you, to communicate with yourself and with others. Now, this black and white towers here, well, they represent that thing that we see everywhere, that duality that we see everywhere, male and female, yin and yang, the sun and moon, up and down, inside, outside, the macrocosm and the microcosm, good and evil, the higher self and the shadow self, and so on and so on. Now, in your earthly incarnation, you live with both black and white in somewhat equal measure, as they weave themselves into the checkered ground pattern that we walk upon. No matter where you step, you will surely have some black and some white under your feet. Now, there is a 9-pointed star up here, which is made up of, I guess, 3 triangles, and 3 by 3 is 9. Well, that's a fitting number, particularly here for the number 9. And there is a stairway, if you can see it here, leading up to the star. Well, that can mean so many things. A stairway to heaven, Jacob's ladder, a road to eternity. It is the middle pillar, the central path of the mystic. It is the lightning bolt from God which connects heaven and earth, the place where we begin to exist. Now, the astrology of the card is where it's placed, particularly good, I think, because it is Jupiter ruling the second decan of Pisces. Now, Jupiter, in classical astrology at any rate, rules Pisces. not just Neptune, but Jupiter. So there's a very strong complementary energy at work here. And Jupiter's philosophical approach aligns well with Pisces' spirituality. Jupiter is also bringing you very good luck and happiness at this time. Now, 9 is also the number of the moon. I'm looking at this number 9 here. And this strengthens the idea of waters, because the moon, of course, deals with tides. So I see this as being a time where you may experience bliss, overflowing love, deep joy and blessings, and you have the fulfillment of the goal of love. So breathe and feel. If you are alone, enjoy your solitude. If you are together with others, enjoy their presence. If you have a job to do it in silent devotion. And have this thought in mind: happiness is my natural condition, because this card is your wish card, and the things that you wish for are likely to be coming true. What do we have here? Hello, Wheel of Fortune. Well, the Lady of the Forces of Life. Divine chaos is what I see around here. The Wheel of Fortune is the ever-changing nature of life and perfection in struggle. Could there be a more simple, human, or profound symbol than the wheel? A circle with a cross centering one in the middle of the 4 cardinal directions, or the 4 aspects of the self, almost like a sacred mandala, which is a physical object used in Tibetan Buddhism to concentrate the mind in prayer. It describes, I think, the most fundamental state of things, from the microcosmic atom to the macrocosmic galaxies to the inner space of your soul locked within the flesh of your body. Now, consciousness lies along the spectrum from the deepest consciousness to the highest consciousness, and each level has its own reality. Mundane reality is not the same as mystical or esoteric reality. Mundane reality is the outer rim of this wheel, turning, bringing women and men to suffer through the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, if I can borrow the quote from Hamlet, Shakespeare's Hamlet. But it can also bring the bliss of love and compassion, and ends sometimes in crushing under the great wheel of the juggernaut of time and death, only to begin again, the ever-changing nature of life. Now, here on the rim, we are all different, and time, we think, is like something that's in a straight line, and it is perceived as individual moments, one after the other in a row. In the center, however, there is no difference. All is one. There is no good nor evil. There just is what there is. What is violent in reality is a gentle, willing parting of soft folds. There is no time. There is no space. Jupiter is all over this card for you, bringing its great bounty of good luck, abundance, prosperity, and fortune. There is a change of fortune coming your way. New beginning, expansion, lots of creativity. A big breakthrough, but unexpected fortune, I think. Luck is coming your way. Chance and opportunity are coming around. I see winning, you winning things, winning your desires. Some ups and downs. A life-changing meeting. It is a definite yes, and if miracles are not happening in your life at this time, then something is amiss. I think this represents an unexpected change in your life. And it's going to be favorable. But it may not necessarily seem that way at first. So be ready to act on any unexpected opportunities. When times are good, stay centered, because things can change. And if things are challenging for you, don't be discouraged, because this is saying that things will get better. Change is about to happen. You may need to alter your present course or change things around you to set the stage for the right outcomes to come into your life. As I say, if no miracles are happening, something is wrong. You stand before the possibility of a great breakthrough, so use this moment. Are you really ready for the great fortune that's coming your way? What is still standing in the way? Say to yourself, I am now ready for the miracle in my life. Well, let's have a look at this lady here, shall we? The Queen of the Thrones of Waters. Let's have a look at her. What do you have to tell me, my darling? What do you want to say? The Queen of Cups is the Holy Grail, the reservoir and container of all our subconscious and ancestral wisdom, the dark waters of the abyss, the box of Pandora, and down in her deepest, darkest place lives hope, the pearl of wisdom. Look at these pearls here. The ring, the sword, the symbol of your purpose in life, the reason you live. Now, emotions are an aspect of this card, and the suit of cups, of course, as I mentioned before. But they are just a skin of velvet covering what could be the tiger beneath, with unremorseful fangs. Now, these pearls that you see, I think, they tell me that they are something that are built up over a long time, thin layer by thin layer, until they are something beautiful and precious. Water is so soft, and yin, that is so feminine. Yet it is so powerful, it shapes the earth. It does so with slow consistency, collective action over long periods of time, one drip at a time, one wave at a time, moving one grain of sand at a time. It wears away rock, carves canyons, shapes mountains, and is the source of all life. Now, important to you at this time are going to be Cancer and Gemini, I think. Yeah. Now, with this woman here, and of course this can refer to men, her characteristics will depend mostly on the influences that affect her from the outside. She's very much at the disposal of every impact and impression. She is a woman who is very intuitive, an observer, tranquil, dreamy, poetic, kind. And I do think there's a great opportunity here for you to have psychic awareness, I think. She can see herself in others and also see through others and reflect that back to them. She could be a good spiritual teacher, I think. I think this is a time when you'll be showing your emotions openly, rather. A lot of motherhood around this, I have to say. Certainly a lot of emotional integrity. What's important about her is that she brings with her love. She has an acceptance of all things, and so she can merge to become one with them. She also brings with her abundance, emotional abundance, and the ability to make friends and form strong bonds with people. There's a richness and an insight to you here. But just have this in mind, that I think that you could well be very influenced by your environment. And this is someone here, I'm just looking, I'm not saying this is you, but I'm just getting an energy up from her. She could have been in a relationship which ruined her financially or emotionally. Being attracted to the wrong person and taking on their energy would have had a disastrous effect on her life, and she may be carrying scars from that time and not reflecting her purity as she should do. You will be influenced by your environment. Now, your mother always told you that you are judged by the company that you keep. So this is a time to make sure that you surround yourself with people who are positive and nurturing and good for you, and to avoid and cut away those situations and people that are not good for you. By showing your feelings openly, you become beautiful. There may be some people who don't understand you. Well, don't concern yourself about it. There are enough others with whom you can share your feelings. Are you open to your emotions and feelings? Trust your feelings. Live in harmony with them. Say to yourself, my openness and vitality makes me beautiful. Let's have a look finally at this Five of Swords, shall we? This is an energy that's on the way out, incidentally, during this period, so you're overcoming whatever it is that is there. I suspect because it's on this same line as this, that I see it being overcome. But here we have the Five of Swords. Now, the word, the Logos that created the world, did not create a world of gibberish, but a world of poetry. Threads of connectedness and beauty that can be seen in the subtle synchronicities in life. Now, if I'm looking back to Greek mythology, the goddess Athena was associated with the owl, and she is one who brings to you strategy, discipline, and civilized action to resolve conflict. Now, all of the fives, incidentally, have some degree of aggravation associated with them. The reason for that for me is because mystically, I have associated with the number 5, the planet of Mars, which is aggressive, rambunctious, impersonal very often, and just wants to come in and slash and burn. So the fives carry with them an element of challenge and suffering. Right. Now, this means that you're going to have to go in to retrieve the core of yourself so that you can move from in the middle of Ace to 10, back to the Ace, back towards the divinity. You have a muse and a protectress in Athena, as I see it here, or the owl, or your own reasonable, balanced spirit that can look at things from a higher, slightly more detached perspective and assess the situation with measure and balance. Now, Athena, the goddess, was known for her shining eyes, as is the owl, and vision, correct, realistic, acute vision is needed by you at this time. Now, if I'm to look at the astrology of it, placed down here, the astrology is Venus ruling the first decan of Aquarius, the 22nd to the 29th of January. Now, Venus rules Taurus, which is an earth sign. But here we have Venus in the card ruling an air sign, Aquarius. Now, these two are at odds. Venus is a lover and not a fighter, whereas Aquarius is a rebel ruled by Uranus, and Aquarius is a fighter, usually for causes. So the individualistic, dispassionate nature of Aquarius clashes with Venus, which is the planet of relationship. But I think what this card is saying is that what you will be overcoming during this time is fear. Fear is something which distorts your view of the present and of the unknown in your future. The Five of Swords can relate to a betrayal or a sneak attack by someone you trust and do not suspect as your enemy. Could be a jealous person who is sabotaging you behind your back. or a fear. And again, I think this is a fear that you are now recognizing and so will overcome. Do you know, identifying the problem is 90% of the solution. But your fear may be the result of losing control emotionally due to previous hurts from relationships, or it may be connected with the workplace where you've had a bad experience that stops you from expressing yourself fully as your confidence has taken a blow. If you can let go of the feelings of fear, then the energy bound up is released. But this is swords, so it's mental turmoil perhaps that you may for a moment be going through. But it can relate to emotions because of the presence of Venus, as I see in the card. And as I say, Venus is a lover and not a fighter. I think you should accept your fear. Say to yourself, I accept my fear. Whatever you're afraid of never comes about. But say, I accept my fear and let it go. I am not my fears. It is safe for me to live without guarding and defending myself all the time. When I do feel afraid, I open my heart and let love dissolve the fear. You will be overcoming it. Have no fear, these other cards are doing the job, the energy that's there, but obviously there's a little lesson to learn, and you are growing stronger. What a great spread of cards for you. Well done, Aries. That's the way it is for you this month. Well, I hope you enjoyed that reading as much as I did providing it to you. It's my great pleasure to provide these monthly readings for you. So, of course, just please like and subscribe. It does actually help the channel, and it would help me be seen by a number of other people as well. You were fantastic during that reading. You did a really good job. Now, the only other thing that's left for me to say is this, that you are a legend, and I look forward to seeing you again next month. Until then, it's bye for now.